I was really into Alice in Chains, Dirt, and Facelift. And then, like, I don't know what happened. I think I started judging the fans and not the band or something.
Yeah.
And I just started to be like, I don't know. And I just really tuned out on them for, as you know, Fern, as a huge Alice in Chains fan that you are. I gave you shit back when we were in Killdrama for listening to Alice in Chains. Yeah. But somewhere, right.
You weren't the only one in Killdrama giving me shit about it either.
And you were right, though. You were right to like them because, like, after, and Morgan, I know, loves them too. I don't remember how he felt at the time, but I know he's come back around on them.
He was also one of the ones making fun of me.
So, like, I think that a lot of us were into Dirt and into Facelift and into Jar of Flies, and then just kind of, like, felt self-conscious about it because, like, I don't want to be confused with being, like, a fucking, I don't know, Switchfoot fan or whatever the fuck.
There were so many different influences in that time with all of us.
Yeah.
Which, if you weren't into it, it's obvious that you're going to be like, okay, I'm not into that, and you are? Why? And why are you incorporated into this?
You've got the wrong T-shirt on, friend.
Exactly, yeah. Which is understandable, but that's the thing that's
the
runs
mindset
its course.
Of the time. Yeah,
it's the
childish.
mindset of the time.
Yeah, it's childish. But so what really pulled me back into Alice in Chains was Jar of Flies because that was like the one that like I stayed with the longest, and I took like a 15-year hiatus. And then when I used to work at the old beer store up in Philadelphia, like I'd like to put on 90s music for the people, and I love to put on like chill music for the people, and I revisited that, and I just played that all the time because it's such a great and underrated album. So, do you remember how you got into Jar of Flies, Fern?
Yeah, it's not as exciting as some of the other albums that I really got into when they came out. This was actually one of those albums that I had to come back to. I kind of missed it.
Can you hold that thought and just let him pee, and then we'll just come
sorry.
back? No, you're fine.
You're okay. I need another beer anyway.
Let's take a little break between albums.
Yeah. Maybe I'll pee too.
Yeah, that's fine. Hold it anymore. I'm just gonna let this keep recording too. Fuck it.
We're recording.
Record yourself while you pee. Record yourself while you pee. Jasper, how you doing, buddy? You are such a big boy, but you're being very quiet, and I appreciate that. He's a very happy-looking dog. Right?
I know, he's so sweet. At first, he's like, "Who's this guy?" And he gets that like ridge back, and he's like, "I don't know about you," but then he's like, "I love you."
For the listeners,
I love everyone.
Jasper is a 90-pound mix, brindled something or other, with one bright white eye and one brown eye. Husky mix, very rotund.
Did you say you saw his ridgeback?
Yeah.
Stand right when he's nervous.
Yeah, I saw his ridgeback too. But he's got a big smile on his face. He's a very, very, very happy dog.
Right.
They're like, "Is she okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, she's just apprehensive."
Yep, that's the perfect word for it.
He's waiting for you to come back. He's like wagging that tail, like, "Oh, there he is, there he is, there he is. Dad's back."
Making sure I'm all right. Thank you, bud.
He's a real sweet dog. I mean, I guess every dog is a real sweet dog, but some are more sweet than others.
Yeah, I'd like to meet I'm going to come check out your place.
Well, you're very welcome to. I tried to get people to come out, but I'm not always good at organizing it. You're very welcome to come out if you want to make the trip to Hazel Park.
Yeah, I do that every day. It's no big deal. I have no problem commuting whatsoever.
I'm going to make this my last shot. Support a little. Yeah, that's good right there. Thank you.
No pressure. I mean,
no.
Do that.
I want to do it.
Hey, I ain't never coming home. Hey, I'll just wander my own road.
Is this your beer, Frank?
It is. Don't touch my beer.
Okay, so let's make sure everybody's got something.
Get your hands off of my beer, motherfucker.
No, that's all right.
Actually, all right, Fernie. How do you recall getting into this album?
It's not as exciting of a story as some other albums I got into when they came out. This is actually one I came to later, and that seems weird to me in hindsight because, as you were kind of alluding to earlier, I thought Dirt and Facelift were just fucking kick-ass, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they're so good and heavy, and nobody sounded like Alice in Chains at that time. They were, like Jeff kind of said, like just taking all these really cool influences that were out there at the time and putting it all into one amalgamation that just worked perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you got basically two singers in the band. I mean, Jerry Cantrell's solo stuff is pretty good. It's not my favorite compared to Alice in Chains, but their two vocals styles and tones just work so good.
Those harmonies are unbelievable.
It's so crazy bizarre. But actually at the time, I think I was into their self-titled album. Loved their self-titled album.
Third album, right?
Yeah, with the
dog.
The three-legged dog on
Yeah.
the front. And
I gave you a particularly hard time for liking that album. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I was insecure.
You did. But, I mean, and that's a good album, but I think that's when, I mean, we all know Lane Staley had some serious drug issues.
Yeah, we are doing like two kind of similar frontmen in that respect.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
But that
till
was
just
the
now.
time.
It
I mean,
goes
how
so
many
deep.
bands did that happen with? You know, I mean, we could name them all.
I mean, yeah, Mother Love Bone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so for me, I guess I got around to Jar of Flies way later. I actually never owned a physical copy of this album.
Me neither.
I think I burned it off of Napster at some point
That's what I did
because
too.
I started coming back around to like my 90s grunge days.
Right.
Because once like punk took over my life, I was like, oh, I'm fucking punk, and that's all I listen to.
Tunnel vision. Tunnel vision punk, tunnel vision screamo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I just fucking ruined
Punk, screamo, metal.
I missed
That's
so
it.
much
Yeah,
shit,
we
like
all
probably
did.
in the late 90s because I was such a, moron. But
Yeah, we were kids.
so this was one of those things I just didn't come back to until I think it was 96. Alice in Chains did their Unplugged.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what song's this? What song's that? I'm like, where can I find this? And that's when I started to dig and found this album and burned it to, probably a disc that I put a bunch of other 90s alternative grunge kind of shit onto.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of how I rediscovered it, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Jeff, what are we drinking? What are these shots of?
This is Casamigos tequila. I mean, it's George Clooney's brand. I love it. It's a good, refreshing drink for the summertime.
Should we do a quick
let's do
cheers?
a celebratory shot here. We're just taking it easy. Have a good time. All right, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. That was good.
Yeah.
Do you remember how you got into Jar of Flies?
Yeah, it would be the first time I heard Nutshell. I was
Okay.
like, holy moly.
It was like a nut shot.
Yeah, it was a nut shot. I might have been in my room. By myself.
Did I mention I'm a musician? I get really excited about music.
Yeah.
Where did you hear Nutshell? Did you hear it like on the radio?
I think that my brother had the album, my older brother again. Yeah.
And that stuck out to you.
It did.
Yeah.
It is technically my favorite song on there because it has feeling. Because I always talk about feeling, what makes me, just like people.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what somebody's doing for a living or anything, it's how I feel when I'm with them. That's what makes the impression for me the most. Just like when I listen to music. I literally feel it in my body. And that opening of Nutshell, when he's like I keep singing, it's just so good, man.
Dude, when he repeats, then I find.
Yeah.
Then I find. Like, because for me, that's my favorite song on the album, too.
Yeah,
Like,
me too, yeah.
And
Okay,
it's,
let's just make it a full sweep because I fucking love that song
Yeah,
so
yeah.
goddamn
So we're all
much.
on board. Perfect
right.
time for a shot.
Fucking
we're the
love it.
Nutshellers. All right.
And yet I fight, and yet I fight this battle all alone. No one to cry to, no place to go home.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful song. It has a
It's
wonderful
haunting.
mood. Yeah, it evokes like something deep and profound, but you really can't quite put your finger on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's kind of sad and haunting, and I mean Jerry Cantrell's fucking lead lead guitar when he like comes in and like that first time, and just the way the song builds from opening where it's just an acoustic guitar. And I still can't fucking pick up an acoustic guitar without strumming those 4 chords.
I wish
like,
I knew how to play that
immediately.
guitar.
I can show you. It's so fucking
Oh,
awesome.
show me. I want to know.
And it's so simple and it's so straightforward.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like major chords, but it's just the way he does those little nuances with his like other fingers to add those color notes on there. So it starts like that, and then the bass comes in with that fucking killer bass line.
Man.
Like those color notes that he's hitting, you're like, oh, okay. And then like the drums kind of like creep up, and then like he just comes in with those vocals, and it just nails you.
And
So
that's the
fucking
bass
brilliant.
line. I'm glad that you brought up the bass line, because that album was recorded just after Mike Starr left the band.
Well, they kind of booted him
They
for
booted
his
him.
heroin addiction.
Go figure.
Yeah. And Mike Inez
Kind
came
of
into the
ironically.
band.
Yeah, from Ozzy.
Yeah.
He played for Ozzy.
You went
So-
from Ozzy to like this grunge band? What
Right,
the hell?
yeah.
Was Inez living with them though? Because
It was, I think it
I
was
know
a
it-
trial.
Because I remember that like they lost their apartment or whatever, wherever they were living, and they
Yes.
moved into a fucking studio
Yeah.
and came up with this album. Like,
Yeah.
dude, can you imagine if Killdrama, if we had lived together? I would have lived. I would have. Oh my god, that would have
What
changed
would've
everything.
happened?
We would have produced a lot more material, and we'd probably still be together today.
Yeah, we probably would have busted down
I think
some
what would have
barriers,
been
right?
good about that is the downtime. Oh shit, we actually got to talk to each other now. What's gonna happen?
That was kind of my argument. That was my argument when we were a band. I'm like, if we're going to work as a band, we actually have to hang out.
Right.
Yeah.
That would have been great though. Who knows? But anyways,
I think it worked for them. This feels birthed by a group, right? Like it doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't come across like, oh, Jerry brought these chords in or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it feels
They
like
built
something
it.
you can tell they jammed this out together because it's a jammy kind of album, but it's also like it's just so deeply personal, and it's not just the lyrics.
yeah.
Well, and they pulled in all those other musicians. Like strings? Like, had they done strings prior to that? I don't think so.
Maybe on
On-
Dirt
on
a little bit. Maybe I'm not sure. I feel like on Rooster was there strings.
Yeah, there could have been.
It could have
some
been,
background
but
don't
stuff,
not what they're known for.
Yeah.
post-production stuff.
Yeah,
It might have been post-production.
Yeah.
And the harmonica? I mean, fuck.
I know.
We can talk about the harmonica at some point.
There's like
That's great.
there's
That's
like a
I'd
dulcimer
love
or
to.
something at some point.
Yeah, like violins and like strings. I mean, it's just so great. But yeah, like you were saying, like they had no home. So they're like, what are we gonna do? Let's book some fucking studio time. They didn't even know if they were gonna like ever put this out, but they did, and fucking so glad they did because it's so goddamn good.
It's my favorite release of theirs personally.
Yeah, I think it is mine too. It's just the
Yeah.
most personal,
Yeah.
Like you feel everything, And I know it's like an acoustic, right? Is kind of like what they say, but I think there's literally only one song where it's all acoustic. I think he busts in with an electric guitar on 6 out of the 7 tracks.
Yeah, there's a lot of electric guitar in this
But it's
album.
awesome, like his style and his bends, like the way he bends strings
Yeah,
and
I
adds
can
that
tell.
vibrato. It's always just perfect.
Yeah.
I'm
You
not
know?
a fan of Stained at all. Yeah, we've
Oh,
all
God,
heard of
no.
Stained and
Yeah.
Aaron Lewis, but he does do a really good rendition of Nutshell.
Oh.
It is
Really?
It is great.
I'll take
I
your
mean,
word for it.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a fan either.
I'm gonna
Because-
YouTube it tonight.
Yeah, he went off and he did a bunch of country stuff, and he was an
Yeah.
asshole to
Oh, really?
fans.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am bald,
Racist,
white,
biggity,
and so I often
shit.
get told that I look like that dude, which I've never appreciated. But
Right. But if you like that song, hearing it done in a different way, but it almost sounds just like it, if not better, which sounds kind of crazy. He does it.
look, I'm going to stop this recording.
I'm gonna drown you in your own pool.
And the only reason I say that is because he's doing the background, the whoo. So like
Yeah,
after
that falsetto
he does
part
all that
is
shit himself.
so good.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's
I mean,
cool.
I can recognize it when it's due.
Sure.
I don't like his band or what he stands for, or him, but the one video that I saw.
I wish him ill.
But when I hear something that's good, I'll acknowledge
Sure.
it.
No,
He
I
did a
respect
good
that.
job with it.
Okay. Because if it's good, it's good, right? That's kind of gets back to what we were talking about before about the snobbery of like being anti Alice in
Right,
Chains for a
yeah.
minute. Like it doesn't serve anyone to.
And that's what's
put those
cool
barriers
about
up.
that dude, Aaron Lewis. Don't like his band, don't like him, but he likes Alice in Chains, and he
Right.
likes that song Nutshell. Tim did his version of it by request. It's not like he even rehearsed it. It's a impromptu thing. But anyway,
I don't know. I kind of want to linger there just for a second, just because it's my favorite, probably Alice in Chains song, and it's probably top 5 songs for me all time. Like honestly, like I will listen to it, and I'm like, nope, not enough, and I'll fucking start it over.
Yes.
As soon
Yeah.
as it starts to fade, I'm like, anymore. And literally, the whole song is the same chord progression.
Yeah.
It never changes.
There's beauty and simplicity.
That's what I mean.
It doesn't always have to be overwrought.
Yes, yeah. It changes with the vocals, with like when it goes to the quote unquote chorus part, because there is no chorus.
Right.
Like, it's literally like the same.
Just kind of
When I found it's just that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
linear.
but when he goes into that like falsetto part, like I guess you could call that a chorus.
Yeah,
maybe?
I guess.
But not really. Like that's why I think the song is so brilliant too, because it's just emotion through instrumentation and vocalization.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because you don't need all this extra fluff and everything. Like he comes in and like almost like his guitar like invokes these like emotions in you too. Like when
Big
that
time.
lead comes in and like like that lead part, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the vocal, like the falsetto over it, like I think I have goosebumps now.
You
just,
do.
like,
I can
talking
see
about him.
I can see him right through your
I
tattoo.
fucking love that song. I love that song.
That's awesome. So we're all in agreement. Nutshell is the number one fucking rocker on this album.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
What is?
And that's not even a single, right? Like I don't even think that song was
Well,
a single.
I
was
feel.
it?
I don't think there was any single. No, actually,
No.
the single.
No
The single was.
Excuses has the
No
video.
Excuses was a single, and I think
Yep.
so was.
I think Nutshell.
No, then
as well, right?
I Stay Away.
I Stay Away.
I Stay Away. You're right,
I Stay
yeah.
Away was a single too.
I didn't care for that one.
Oh,
We're all in agreement on what the best song on the album is. Jeff, what is the underrated song on the album?
I would have to say No Excuses.
It's alright. There comes a time. Got no patience to search for peace of mind.
Even though it was a single.
Yeah.
Okay, go
Because
ahead.
I Stay Away, it was overrider for that.
It was a bigger hit, right?
Yeah, it was a bigger hit. A lot of people like that song better.
Because it sounds more like traditional Alice in Chains, but No Excuses is like that vibe, that chill vibe of this album.
Yes, because it has the syncopate. You know, the drum. It's weird. That's what I like about it. Is are you familiar with that word,
syncopation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the drummer's doing, and but it's still in a one. It's in a 4/4 pattern.
Yeah.
If you listen to it,
But his drum beat is different.
It's
Where
different
he's,
'cause it's doing, like,
accenting, right?
3 and 3 on the hi hat, closed,
Yeah.
really tight,
Yeah.
and then throwing that bongo hit on.
Yeah, as me not a drummer,
syncopated.
I wanted to talk about that too because
Yeah.
that drum beat, I'm like, ooh, all right.
Yeah.
We're going for a ride. We're having fun.
Syncopation is the word
Yeah.
that makes that song good. It's driving at the same time, and the lyrics aren't too overpowerful. Like I Stay Away, it's like it's too long. I don't want to hear that lyric for like 5 minutes. I want to hear the song. You know?
I guess I disagree. I love when he comes into that part because it like breathes at that point. I don't know. He hits that note and like elongates it, and I just feel like the
I can
song
see
kind of
that.
like opens up, like personally.
Is that your underrated song, or is there?
No,
What's the underrated song?
Don't Follow
Okay, go ahead.
because it's different.
It
You
is
know?
different.
Very. They really get weird at the end.
Yeah, but I like that it's almost like two songs mashed into one.
Of this. Second song's better in that song. I
You know,
feel like.
you know what I mean? Like when Lane comes
I
in.
agree.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's what I like about it because you're almost anticipating it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, Lane's gonna start singing soon. And it's gonna change.
It's gonna come. I know it's gonna come.
And it's really like that first part is really like Jerry Cantrell's like solo stuff, which I'm take it or leave it. You know, I mean, there's a couple of tracks I'm like, oh, cool. You know, I can get into this. But for the most part, like I feel like he needs that extra something that Lane added. So this song is that perfect example, in my opinion, of what Lane adds. But they also have some amazing harmonies on that song.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where you have Jerry doing the lead vocals and you have Lane basically doing the harmonies in the background, and it just hits that sweet
Is
spot
that the
for
one
me.
with the harmonicas involved?
Yes, yeah, and the harmonicas fucking
And who's
badass.
doing that? I never knew who was actually
I'd
playing
have to look it
harmonica.
up. It's some dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's awesome.
Hired
Right?
hand again.
Yeah,
Charlie
exactly.
Musselthwaite just showing up for.
Right.
But
yeah.
they hired the right guy because he nails it.
Oh, yeah, it's
like
great.
it's not too much. Like
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes like Blues Traveler.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like sometimes it can be too much,
Yeah.
but like he comes in, he kind of
It's very subtle.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
It's kind of like a little buried, but it's there, and it adds something that doesn't take away from the rest of it. But
Yeah.
I like that song because like when it all comes in, it's the full band, and Lane starts singing. You're like, all right, this is an Alice in Chains song. So like
That's
it's
true.
worth the wait to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I have to
Perfectly
say,
spoken.
Thank you. I tried.
That's great.
I have to say, for me, like, I thought that I was going to maybe say something like that for the underrated song for this album, but on revisiting it, getting ready for today, Rotten Apple, man. Rotten Apple, when that starts and Jerry Cantrell kicks in, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking talk to me, Jerry. Make it talk to me. It's so fucking just like groovy and cool and just
Yeah.
just,
Yeah,
I feel
the
like
talk box.
yeah,
guitar.
fucking Todd Rundgren coming into play or some shit.
That's weird. This is going to really take you guys by surprise, but Rotten Apple, that's a great song, but it reminds me of, believe it or not, Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. That intro.
Oh.
And I'll explain this.
Okay, dude.
If you listen to it, there's a bass line. And then the talk box comes in.
Yeah.
And then think about Living on a Prayer. You know, it could
I'm
be
less
something-
familiar with Living on a Prayer than I am with Rotten
Yeah.
Apple.
You have to splice this in.
And I'm not going to.
Yeah. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. But it's only because I was a Bon Jovi fan when I was really, really
I was
young.
too.
I was
One of my
too,
first
yeah.
concerts was
Yeah.
a
I'll
Slippery
give you
When
that
Wet
for
tour.
sure, yeah.
I mean,
And
yeah.
it's weird because the first time I heard that song, I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds just like Living on a Prayer. Seriously, that's really what
That's
I
so
thought.
funny.
Because it has a bass line, then the talk box comes in. The only time I ever heard the talk box was
Todd Rundgren and Bon Jovi.
right, exactly. Or Peter Frampton.
And Peter Frampton.
yeah,
No,
Peter
that's what
Frampton.
that's what I was trying to think of was Peter
Yeah.
Frampton.
He
Yeah.
came alive.
Yeah.
Peter
that talk
Frampton,
box.
Richie Sambora, talk box. That's
Yeah.
all.
Right.
That's all
But
people doing.
Cantrell makes it work,
No,
he
dude.
does.
he did it on Facelift. Like he'd
Yeah.
already done it.
Yeah,
like, you
you're
weren't
right.
like, oh, he's fucking.
But it's here in
uncharted
particular. It's so
territory.
fucking. It just sets this
Yeah.
great tone, this great
Right.
mood.
Oh, it's
for the-
great.
It's a
Oh,
7-minute song. It's
That
the
bass
longest song
has
of the album.
like some chorus on it or something, like some like.
It was
but
like
you can
a
like if you
chorus
really
delay.
listen to it, like because I don't know, I have a tendency to do this sometimes. Like just like turning it up in headphones, like as soon as it starts, you can like hear his fingers on the
Nice.
strings.
Really?
Like yeah, like
That's
I mean
cool.
you can hear it, and you're like, oh, this is, and that's what they were really going for with this album.
Oh,
is
yeah,
that
for
like
sure.
live.
That
but it's
authentic,
acoustic-y,
organic.
you know,
Yeah.
like get every tone you can get out of whatever is happening, and you really hear it in that first, and it just hits you right over the head. Like
Yeah.
this is what we're doing, and that was his first like real album recording with Alice in Chains. But I think he nailed it and like knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
It's very much tone setting for the rest of the album.
Yeah, for sure.
This is very much Alice in Chains. It's
Yeah.
going to sound like Alice in Chains, but it's going to sound like a slightly different Alice in
Yeah,
Chains.
we're a little moody.
Yeah, a little moody. They're always moody.
Yeah.
But this is even like it's like a different
is
like
the mood.
We're moody, but we're also drinking cocktails on our porch.
Right, yeah. And if I could add to that song, like what I said about the Bon Jovi Living on a Prayer interlude, that's just my personal opinion of what I thought when I heard it. But towards the end, it changes. The outro. Believe it or not, Planet Caravan. Are you familiar with that song?
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath, Planet Caravan. And not only did Black Sabbath write that song,
Pantera.
Pantera covered it.
Yeah, I'm mixing that
Yeah.
episode right now, actually.
They covered it in '94.
Right.
The
Yeah.
very same year that this album happened.
Oh, no shit.
And those guys hung out all the time. So who knows if Cantrell was hanging in the studio with Dimebag when he was doing his...
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So I think there's an influence there. When you guys both get a chance, listen to those songs. Listen to Planet Caravan. And
the Pantera version.
The Pantera version, and then listen to the last 3 minutes of Rotten Tomato. Whatever it is.
Wrong podcast.
Yeah.
I'm leaving that in too.
Yeah, you don't... Yeah.
No, Rotten.
Rotten. Yeah.
Another shot?
No, it's funny.
But it's very, very similar. It's almost eerie. It's the same licks.
I did not.
Same cadence.
I've been listening to that song because I've been listening to that album lately, that Pantera album, and I did not put two and two together. But now that you say it, and if you ask me at any other point in my life, I would be like,
what the hell are you talking about?
I would not have those immediate frames of reference because they wouldn't be. Yeah, I would be like, what the hell are you talking about? But you're right, dude. There is very much, especially for the outro, there's a similar mood set.
Yeah. And just like the licking, the nuance of like it takes when you're doing a run, you only want to do like 3 measures. You want to go beyond because that's taken away from the actual background with the bass and the drums and everything. It's almost identical. It's weird.
Okay.
It's almost like they were in the same studio and Cantrell was like watching Dime record that solo.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa. Yeah. But anyways, yeah.
That's interesting.
It's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Is there a least good song on the album? It's kind of hard to pick one. I really struggled.
I don't.
You don't struggle, or you don't think there is one?
No, it's swing on this for me. I guess I just don't like swinging.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just like we talk about sex type thing.
I don't know. I mean, it's not bad.
It's so different from their other shit.
Yes, it's totally different. And like the chorus is kind of a little more Alice in Chainsy, I guess, if that's a thing.
Yeah, no, it's...
You know what I mean? But that, like, I don't know, like the verse part of it, it's kind of like...
I really respect them playing with their style.
No,
I feel like they're like listening
they never
to
thought they were
Primus
going
or
to put
something.
this out, you know, like, so they were just having fun and doing their thing. So that's why I really respect it and appreciate it.
Sure.
But yeah, it's a departure in not necessarily the best way in my personal opinion.
Would you agree? Is that the least good?
I would say so. I would agree with that. I only listened to the first part of the album.
Oh, you tune out around Whale and the Wasp, right?
Yep.
See, because that's, to me, that's the least good song on the album.
That's right where I kind of don't listen.
Yeah, because it's what? Whale and the Wasp, Don't Follow, and
It's
Swing on This.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's an EP. You shouldn't have to stop at 4 songs.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But those 4 songs are so strong.
Yeah.
And then Whale and the Wasp kicks in, and it is a mood changer.
Yeah.
It changes the mood. It doesn't quite do it for me. It's instrumental, so I want to be forgiving.
It's a dimmer switch.
That's
I look at it as like a dimmer switch. It's like, man, it's time to kind of tone it. I'm done.
I think that Don't Follow is a really strong song, and I actually really like Swing on This. I get why you think it's the least good, because if I had to pick the second least good, I'd probably say that one. But I really respect their playing with them. I really respect them playing with themselves.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's
I respect that they did that.
They recorded it too. How kind. But no, I do. I mean, I respect how they like experimented, tried something different,
out of the comfort
and
zone.
it makes sense to do. It's the last song on a fucking EP that they weren't even sure they were going to put out.
Right.
So I think it's like, it feels like a weird glimpse into them just expanding and seeing what they can do. For that reason, I find it fun and like it. Whale and the Wasp, it's like, okay, I had a whole thing going on, and then all of a sudden you're bringing this in on me, and it's changing my mood, and and I can understand you pressing stop.
Yeah.
Skip instead
I
of stop.
totally get it too. Yeah. Like, it's like I don't know. That song fucking makes me sad. Can I just say that? Because I mean, it fucking does.
Well, that show makes me sad too.
It's chromatic. It's a different kind of sad. It's not like a...
It's a sad I want to live in. I want to stay in the...
Yeah, it's a sad that maybe there's some hope underneath for Nutshell, but for Whale and the Wasp, it's like, oh, fuck, man, life sucks.
it's over.
And there's no lyrics whatsoever.
And it comes in like all pretty, like
So
in that
tonal.
change, and you're still like, no, that first part still makes me sad. Stand still.
I mentioned how, for me, like, probably my main memory tied to this album is working at that beer store and coming back to Alice in Chains through it. Do you guys have specific memories connected to the album?
I do, yeah. It's somebody that nobody's aware of. It's a guy that I went to high school and grade school with. His name is Bo Bryant.
No, I remember the name.
Yeah, he died of brain cancer when he was 23.
Partly why I remember him, honestly.
Yeah, he was a great guitar player. You know, lived a rough life. You know, grew up in a situation where nobody gave him props. And he was a musician, and we played together for a long time. And it just, when I listen to that stuff, it reminds me of him, because when it came out, he learned it and he already knew it. And he didn't have to look it up at the tabs and Guitar World magazine.
He just picked up a guitar.
He just
and
knew how to
listened.
play.
He's one of those
that's
dudes.
awesome.
Yeah, one of those dudes.
Yeah.
You know, and he passed away at a young age. And it's just somebody that I miss in life, like we're all going to encounter.
Yeah.
And I like Alice in Chains. I love him. Same with SDP. That whole era, you're automatically going to be tied to that time with nostalgia. And
It's when we came of age.
that's when you came of age. That's what Alice in Chains makes me think of is him, because he was a good friend to me, and unfortunately he passed away. And a great musician. Who knows what he could have done, just like the rest of us. But you know, the world happens, and you have to get a job and live life, and that's what we're all doing. But it's great that we're all still appreciating and talking about music still, and really digging deep and recognizing each other. In a friendship, you know, very deep stuff. You know, you don't have to get too deep, but it's the acknowledgement that matters. You don't have to know the details of everybody. The acknowledgement is what's most important, you know? And when that person is gone, there's no acknowledgement or detail. They're gone. So that resonates with me sometimes listening to music. It's just, you miss your friends.
Well, we can acknowledge Bo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bo.
Well, thank you.
Sure.
And I remember you talking about him back when we played together. Like, even then you spoke about him as a big influence on you. Derek, do you have any specific memories tied to the album?
Oh, fuck. I can't follow that.
I should have asked you first. I'm sorry.
That was beautiful, man.
No,
I
man.
didn't know he was going to do that to you.
It wasn't intentional.
You know, not particularly. Like, that's like the one thing. I'm like, it's one of those albums like I wish I would have gotten into sooner, you know? Like, maybe it would have had even more magic if I would have, quote unquote, discovered it as it came out, you know? But it's one of those ones that kind of slipped through the cracks because I had my blinders on, and I missed a lot because of that.
And you can't blame us in Killdrama for that, because this was 94.
No, I was doing my shit without you guys. I mean, I remember you guys throwing like my Frog Stomp tablature book out the window.
And you're still welcome.
Guys.
You're still welcome.
I know who it is. but no, I mean, yeah, it was my own thing.
That wasn't
too.
me, right?
No, it was somebody else. You've had a new podcast. But
Oh, Morgan. I remember now.
yeah, he literally pulled it out of my soft shell case and like threw it out the window. And I'm like,
I
what
want
the
nothing
fuck?
to do with that.
I'm like, that's $25, dude.
Right, yeah.
I'm gonna work fucking 4 hours at Arby's to afford that, you son of a bitch. Yeah. But
So funny.
Frog Stomp.
it's fucking funny in hindsight, for sure. Overall, I just have good feelings about that album. And like I said, I mean, Nutshell is a top 5 song.
And they're like one of the top bands for you. am I
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, I know that you've talked about this a lot on the show, like how you're like a 1 or a 2, maybe 3 kind of album from a band.
Depends on the band.
Right,
But
and
yeah.
I have bands that I listen to the whole discography,
Right.
but I mean, I don't listen to Alice in Chains after Lane Staley. I just don't.
Yeah.
You know, I think Will Duvall is great. I think he can probably pull it off in a live setting. I've actually seen things with Greg Puciato from Dillinger Escape Plan playing with Jerry Cantrell.
Yeah, that was good
Lead
stuff.
singing for like doing Lane's parts, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had a chance to go
crazy
see
good.
him.
It's crazy
Yeah,
good.
he's real good.
Yeah.
And you can tell he just loves it. He's perfect homage to his style and sound and tone and everything. But I don't listen to anything after their self-titled album, so no Lane, no Alice in Chains.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
I did the same.
And I've tried. It's not bad. I mean, it's the same songwriter, essentially, you know, but it's just not the same.
I'm going to take a pee, and then we'll come back, and and do the outro here.
Okay, good.
May I trouble you for another?
Oh,
sir?
man, as many as you want, man. I gotta tell
May I
you.
have some more?
Please, sir.
Do you like?
Yes,
New
we
fan?
Thank you,
New
sir.
fan? That's
I've
all you're
actually
gonna
never
drink?
had, so yeah.
Are you gonna become like me and like exonerate every other company?
Oh shit. Not quite, but it is good. It's legendary taste, memorable quality.
It's just got a flavor, man. Doesn't that sound so stupid for a grown man to say it's just got a flavor? But I'm serious when I say that.
I guess it depends on who you're talking about.
All right.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I'm on vacation, so I can have as many as I want. You want one more half?
You're on vacation too?
Yeah.
Make it small. Wait, that's not mine.
Oh, that's Travis's.
I got the weird flowery.
But do you like the flavor of this stuff?
No, I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Does it say, is it a mezcal?
Just agave.
Okay.
Clear. I don't like that like yellow
The blanco.
stuff.
Yeah, right.
Blanca.
You guys doing more? Oh my god! I told you I'm not doing any more.
You don't have. I'll have yours. I'm on vacation.
You have a great place. We've talked about doing camping. Would you?
We should.
Would
we
you
should
be
do
open
it.
to camping?
I wanted to do a pre-feast here.
Dude. All right.
Would you do that?
125%.
Yeah.
Not 126. Would it be weird to camp in your own backyard?
No, I would love it.
Because you could literally be like, "Well, I'm done," and go in if you want.
Yes.
And you could shower in your own home.
And you guys could do that too.
Sound awesome?
And we could fire up that fire pit, just hot as hell.
Yes.
Set up all around. There's plenty of room.
Yeah, we could do this in like let's shoot for like late August.
Done.
That's fun. Awesome.
It's happening.
Because obviously I'm gonna have you poured me the drink. I'm not gonna.
No, I got another one here.
No, I'm.
Oh, you're gonna do it?
I'm gonna do this shot, but don't pour me any more shots.
All right, that's it. I'll do the. There's only a little bit left in there.
All right. Cheers, gentlemen.
All right,
Killdrama.
Hell yeah. That sounds great. I'm looking forward to that now.
I'm excited. If you're listening and you're just a Stone Temple Pilots fan and an Alice in Chains fan and not interested in Killdrama, you could probably check out right about now. But since you and I, Fern, Branstrom, are together, 3/5 of Killdrama, this is a part of the show where I usually would ask like questions about the 1990s, but I'm not going to ask questions about the 1990s. I'm going to ask questions about Killdrama to you guys. And we did 2 albums.
Interesting.
So I'm going to ask 2 questions. Okay?
Oh, all right.
All right. So the first question I have, and of course I'll answer this too, because I'm all about blowing myself.
You're an honest guy.
That's right. Best show ever. Best Killdrama show ever. Do you remember the best one in your memory?
The skate park.
Meyer Skate Park in Brighton?
Yeah.
I remember that show.
Yeah.
What do you remember about it?
Everybody was there. As far as I know. Actually, you know what? I'm going to repent on that.
Okay.
It's when we played a show in like a barn and then we went to like a fucking party somewhere. You remember that?
You mean the skate park?
No. We
This is aside from the skate park.
we played a show. Like you mean like it wasn't like literal. No, was it a literal barn?
Yeah.
No, we left the barn.
We left the barn, then we went to a party.
We didn't even play the barn, which it was called the Hot Box. Which
That's right.
Which we should have fucking played it, but it was literally like I don't know, a 9x11
It was a
environment.
barn, like where a lawnmower.
It wasn't
Only
even a
weed
barn.
whacker would
It
fit
was
in there.
literally a fucking shed.
It was a shed.
It was a shed. It was not
How
a
do
barn.
I do not remember that.
We stuck our heads in there and realized that we'd be playing like on top of each other for 9 people tops, and they'd be like elbows
Yes.
and faces. And we left and we went to Dominic Vagnetti's birthday
That's
party.
what it was.
Or no, Halloween party.
Yes.
His Halloween party. We got
Yeah.
a lot of good pictures from that night.
Yeah.
And
That was my
had
favorite.
a lot of fun.
That was my favorite memory of us.
100% they did not invite us. They were not like, hey, please
But
come
we
play our
showed
party.
up
We
and
just
we
showed up
played.
at a party. We knew what happened.
And we played.
We're gonna play a
Yeah,
party.
that's rock and roll, man. That's rock and roll.
Like us. We're going to make you like us.
Yeah,
Shove it in your face.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
That was too funny.
That to me, I love that.
It was a very
That
memorable.
great.
It was a memorable night.
I cannot forget it.
That's fucking punk
Because
rock.
you can book a show and show up there and play. Who cares?
Dude, we blitzkrieged.
Yeah, we blitzkrieg.
We always talk about blitzkrieg and just setting up in the middle of
Hell
fucking
yeah.
nowhere. I never realized we actually
We did
did
it.
do that. We
Yeah.
just showed up at his house and hey, we're playing.
We're playing here.
We blitzkrieg Dominic.
Okay.
So funny. What about you, Fern? What's your favorite show of that Killdrama
Good
played?
Lord, I don't know. There was the Red Party, but I don't really
Oh,
remember a whole lot
fuck.
of that.
I have pictures from the Red
I remember
Party.
we were all
Oh, my
not
God.
in our best states of mind and
We were
falling over
very
each other.
not
and-
sober.
Oh, man, it was terrible.
I don't know. I feel like
It was fun though.
my favorite show is probably at the Blind Pig.
The one that's recorded?
This was not one that was recorded. I just loved playing at the Blind Pig.
Yeah.
And I remember in soundcheck, Jimmy did like a little bass whip thing, and I was behind him, and he smacked me right in the cheek, and it like started to bleed and like swell up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm fucking cool now. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like
Pay my dues.
for personal like reasons that got me pumped up for the show because like I was like filled with this adrenaline.
Yeah.
I was literally in sound check just
Yeah.
to check the levels
After you
of
just drink
stuff
like 20 old styles
before
in the
we
fucking
started.
20 old styles in the 8-ball.
That's so funny.
I just remember that night so vividly and just putting it all out there and you know like I don't know, channeling my best inner like at the drive-in performance of flinging myself about because I was
Yeah.
like, all right, this is what kind of party it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So I don't even know who was playing with us or anything. I just remember us playing that show, and it was a good amount of people there, and it was just a good time.
This is my best memory of Killdrama.
Okay.
Absolute.
Hit us.
When we were recording Flooded Streets for
Okay.
Shift Focus.
Okay.
And somebody suggested the claps in the...
Me or Jimmy, we were both really into that shit.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
And when we actually did it,
That was fun.
everybody agreed.
Yeah.
Somebody suggested it. Everybody was like, wow, like, yeah. and it happened. There was no pushback anywhere.
Yeah, for once, it was,
Yeah,
it was not a five-headed,
That's lame.
Hydra eating itself.
I remember that distinctively. I wish I could remember who suggested, but I do not know.
I'm pretty sure it was me or Jim, if I had to guess.
Probably, yeah.
Because
But when you listen to it, you hear it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it fits right in.
it fits right in.
That's funny.
Yeah.
My favorite show that I remember playing was actually at Max in East Lansing.
Yeah, we had some good shows there. At
And
least 2 or 3, right?
I felt like there was this before moment for Killdrama and an after moment for Killdrama, and I wish I could remember the band that technically like pulled the trigger for us. But I remember we were at Max, and I was on acid, which is always the best way to play a show.
Okay.
Right.
And someone played before us. I know it was either Bear vs. Shark or Anne Berlin, because we played with Anne Berlin right before they were big. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was fun. And whatever band it was, like they fucking like elevated what was going on. They played before us.
Were they dressed
So-
up with wigs and stuff?
Maybe
Do you remember that?
I don't remember exactly what it was, but I don't remember if there was wigs. But I just
Okay.
and it couldn't have been Bear vs. Shark then, because we definitely would not. They would not have played before
I don't
us.
think
I
we
remember
played with
Bear
them
vs. Shark at Max.
At Max, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Anne Berlin before they got big.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like they put on an incredible show, and obviously like they did well. They went on to be like a huge band, and so they did better than us, I'm sure.
Yes.
But I felt like it was like this game changer for us, where it was like we were kind of like sitting on our laurels and being like, we're good, we got our shit together, we put on a good live show, and then this band came out that fucking blew us away, and
Yeah.
we had to play after them.
Yeah.
And like right about when the acid was kicking in,
Humbling, right?
yeah, it was humbling, but it was
Yeah.
also like let's do
like
this.
up your
Let's do it the
game.
Yeah,
best
let's
we
fucking
can right
compete,
now.
right?
Yeah.
And that was right when I peaked, and I remember like I had a full glass of beer and just threw it all over the crowd as soon as the fucking song started,
fucking
and just
Hell yeah.
we blew up. And I just remember it just like we had exploded.
Welcome, breakfast, a taste test. When I die,
And
that
you remember having
stage
fun?
was so small. Yes, it was one
It
of
was that feeling.
I remember
That's what
literally.
you remember.
By the end of the show, before I was like slunk against the wall, like screaming into the microphone, like out of fucking energy.
love that.
No, I don't think I was gonna vomit. Like that was the best.
I love that you're saying it like that. That's
Love it.
your perspective. That's your POV standard shit.
Absolutely.
Like, this is what happened to me for the greatest show.
Just a swelling crowd.
Yes.
You know, I loved that shit. All sweaty and people on people.
You can lock down
miss
any.
playing live.
You
Yeah,
can
that's
lock down any rock star in the world through history and ask them what was your pivotal moment, and we all know what it was because we saw the videos. But their personal thing is what matters the most. Man.
Yeah.
Nobody gets to hear that. Well, thanks for sharing.
Oh,
that was great.
Thank you for doing this. Yeah. But I have one more Killdrama related question for you, and
Love it. Give me.
hopefully the listeners are interested too. So, if you were to play a Killdrama song for somebody that you thought was like the most representative, what is the best? You got to pick one Killdrama song, and we recently released sort of our collected discography on Spotify. So pick one of those songs from that, like that recorded, because it's got to go something that's recorded, not just the song
That we
itself.
actually went in the studio for?
Yes, but not necessarily that we went in the studio for, but just like from those songs, something that we have recorded, as opposed to like how we felt playing it live ourselves in Jim's basement. Like what is a song that's recorded that you can play for someone that is the best and most representative of us?
Oh, that is a tough question, man.
I can tell you this. If it were been commercialized, if somebody were to look at us like this, we can make this band happen, there would be nomenclature.
The other shoulder. The other shoulder. Whether we wait for it or not. The other shoulder. The other shoulder. I'll keep my hand from touching yours. Chains laid still.
Not the preferred nomenclature.
Yes.
Really?
That early. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
That was the first song we ever recorded.
Think about the intro.
Very wrote.
It
Think
was
about
very-
the intro.
it was very
And
catchy.
think about how it goes. It's in that time, it would have been big if we had a really good somebody producing it well.
Was that the best? Was that the
It's
first
not
song
the
we
best
wrote?
song.
Was that the
I
first
think
song?
that
we
was
wrote?
the first song we
It
ever
might have been.
did.
Jesus Christ!
But-
And you think that was most? Well, in a way that makes sense for it to be representative. Then.
Yeah. As a whole, as to be a fan,
no, maybe
you'd
it was
be like,
maybe that was the second. Romans was, I think, our first,
I think Romans was before that.
and then When Fall Comes was
well, like,
also in the
other
mix
shoe will
for
drop.
those first three.
That's the signature.
Yeah.
If that were, that's what all the fans would remember. That's the way I envision it.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's my favorite
No,
song.
no, but that's the song you would. Like,
but
if
that's
you had to
the
pick
one that
right.
would have set us off if
Okay.
it was produced correctly.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Well,
we
Fern,
did not know what we were doing.
No,
we were lucky that Jimmy had the skills that he had.
He at
that
least knew how to put things onto a tape.
Right.
And,
Yeah, and then we had access to 40
make
ounce sound
CDs
through
from
him.
it. Yeah, exactly.
So what about you, Fern? If you had to pick a song, that, like just to play one song for people, what's
Gosh,
it going to be?
that's hard. So, I mean, for me, there's either recorded or live.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not giving you the live
I
option.
know.
You
Oh,
have to
no
go-
live option.
No, like what we have recorded. If you had to pick
Recorded stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
how we play it live, that's very different, but that's so ethereal. You cannot say
Yeah.
to someone now, "Hey, listen to this."
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe Spitting at the Brush Fire.
Oh man. Good.
Okay.
Hope you know what you're in for. Foundation, always a little mistaken. This time again, congratulations.
It's rocking,
That's
it's
Christian's
fast,
favorite,
it's got
I
some
think.
kick-ass beats, and I think that was kind of where we like fell into our groove, like for writing songs.
Towards the end of
Yeah,
the things, but
exactly. I know
Otis
it
Ford
took
is
us
a
a
great
while,
one,
but
too. I love
oh,
that
Otis
one.
I wish the recording had come out well.
Haircut
Yeah.
is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
If I may say so myself.
Well, I had nothing to do with it. It was a Morgan song,
Yeah.
but like that song is just so kick-ass.
Those songs all came together. Those were never rehearsed. That's what boggles my mind. I can't remember a single moment where we just sat and thought, how is this gonna work? Every song to me, from my memory, were automatic.
Well, as I remember it, Morgan would come with licks. Morgan would come with riffs, and then he and I would sit down and coordinate how the song was going to work. We'd create the bridges. We would typically, like everybody else, would go for a very long smoke break, and then the two of us would sit down and work out the bones of it, and then you guys would come back in. That's usually
I
how
think
it
the
worked.
songs I brought to the table were a lot different then, because I remember the songs I brought to the table. I was like, "This is how I think it should go," and then guys were, it's okay, but maybe this part should go there. And what about this, like drum beat? Like I know that you've added some super sweet drum beats and things.
Well,
to
it was-
some of
yeah,
the
it was
songs we
collaborative,
wrote. Yeah,
so it had
I
to be
feel
like
like the
that.
things that I brought were a little more open-ended kind of thing. Because
Morgan
honestly,
usually came
he's a
with-
better songwriter.
Well, he came with complete. You usually came with like, here I got this verse,
right.
or here I got
Yeah,
this chorus,
yeah.
right? Like, or I got this bit, right? You didn't come with like, as I recall, you didn't come with like
Me-
fully
A couple
realized
times.
parts.
Not as often as
Right.
he did, for
Can I
sure.
talk about something I feel bad about?
Sure.
Me and Morgan rehearsed a lot. I got together with him. Me and Derek never rehearsed.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I'm regretful of. Because I said, like, and it might have pissed a bunch of people off. I told Morgan, I think I told you, I said, Fern's parts are fucking me up. Did you ever hear me say that? Because I never heard you
can hear it at
play.
the beginning of Lackluster.
Yeah.
Should our birds on a losing hand tonight?
You're like,
Well-
you always do that deal thing.
Because I
You're
wasn't-
fucking me up. Can you
Yeah,
not do that? I'm like,
because I wasn't
sorry.
used to hearing it.
I liked it.
and it might have come off as like I was being a dick, but from my I never heard it.
Yeah, you were used to it. Yeah,
Me and-
no, it makes sense.
Me and
Makes perfect
Morgan
sense.
used to rehearse all the time. I'd go over there, we'd play the songs, then we'd show up at practice.
Well, he was living at the practice.
Yeah, he
space,
was
Yeah.
Right.
3 doors down from
Yeah.
me.
Right.
We
It's a very
practiced a
different-
lot.
Right. And,
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing was, and I wasn't meaning to sound like an asshole or mean.
But you
I
you're
was
used
being
to hearing,
honest.
You
I
were
was
used
like,
to hearing it a certain
Yeah.
way. Right.
Seriously,
Well, when I was in college in
his-
Michigan State, I was
and it was
miles away,
nothing
yeah.
against you.
No, I totally get it.
What I was expressing was I can't hear what I'm used to hearing because I'm hearing Fern too much.
Yeah, but what really needed to happen was you and Fern and like,
We should have practiced more,
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
need to
Yeah.
collectively practice more generally.
Yeah.
It was towards the end, and that's why we
Talk
broke
more,
up.
practice more.
We needed to hang out more as a band, and we needed to actually
That-
practice more
that-
because it got
yes.
towards the end where it was a fucking act of Congress to actually
It
get us
wasn't
together
cohesive.
just to practice.
Nobody was happy. We'd show up there and like
was.
somebody was mad about a last
I always wanted to be there.
interaction. Yeah,
I always wanted to be there. Yeah, for sure.
I did too, but
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
has that residual leftover from the last time you were acting, and that's what you're thinking about, right?
Oh, no, definitely.
So it's not fun at that point.
And that's
a
I guess.
bummer.
Then I guess that's what I mean. That's how a lot of people came to feel. I guess
It's like being in a relationship with 4 other dudes.
it's exactly it. It's like having another girlfriend.
Yep. But 4 of them, and they are all very different.
Yeah.
For me, the song that best represented us, if I had to pick a song, is "Shotgun Driver."
Catch your blood in this glass of wine. You take the train and I'll follow behind. In this failing car,
Right.
I think that's like, if we had a single, it would have been that. Like that song, I think it encompasses us very well.
Yeah. And that's like a progressive song. There's not a lot of repeating.
It's got dynamic.
In that.
It's got dynamic.
Yeah.
It goes from there to there, and the lyrics mirror everything in a way where it shouldn't, but it kind of works.
It also sounds like I've never driven a car before. At one point I said, I'm way over my mileage is one of the lines. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? You're not over, like your car's not going to work now because you're over your mileage? Like, what does this mean?
So did you lose the metaphor?
Totally.
Did you already have that lyrics written before
Oh, no.
you
Like,
heard it?
No.
I don't think you ever did, right?
No, very rarely would I come with lyrics. I'd have like a line or two maybe that had occurred to me that I would come with, but typically Morgan would come to us with something and I would write to it off the top of my head as we went along. So
I do remember that. You sitting there with your
play it again, play it again, play it again, play it again.
spiral notebook and writing stuff down, and it's like, okay, I guess we're doing this lick again.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it was always cool when you
great,
unleashed.
though.
I
I
remember
love that
like at
stuff.
practice when you unleashed on songs, and I was just like, how the hell did he just come up with that? You know, but I didn't know that you're planning shit or whatever. But as a drummer, you're in the background always. So
Well, it was always both, though. I mean, like, as we jammed, I would jam too, like, because my voice was my instrument.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you guys were doing stuff, and often that was like, okay, you guys are going to jam for a while. Like, what the fuck am I going to do?
Right.
So, like,
Go
I had
upstairs
to.
with Mr. T and like
Once
have
more-
a
No,
walk-
I would just fucking jerk off to my voice and be like, whoa, whoa, wee,
Yeah.
wee.
I
Just whatever
remember when
fucking
we
could
played
come up
Once
with.
Fall Comes. Is that the name of that song?
Yeah.
Everybody would fart. The whole fucking room would smell like shit because it was crazy. I remember Jimmy saying it. I smell his farts right now.
I got to piss again. You guys can keep talking or not if you
Once
want to.
fart comes.
Oh, Christ.
Because that outro was
We're
so
coming out
long.
the rails. We're coming out the rails.
The outro's so long you can't hold a fart in.
Oh god, that's so good. Yeah, but it was so good. Like we're like, you guys like breakdowns? Let's do a breakdown.
Yeah.
We did. It
And the
was great.
breakdown was like 16 measures.
Yeah, we're like, let's freak out at the end of the song. It's like, great idea. That's the best. Yeah, we were still working through our process at that point.
Well, it was therapy, wasn't it?
Yes. When we played live, I felt like it was therapy. I wanted my endorphins to happen, and like honestly, most of the time I didn't even see or hear or look at the crowd. But that's probably because I have anxiety issues.
I was always watching you guys. Like that was weird
I
because
don't know how you kept it together sometimes. Like you literally were the glue that like held us all together. You were. Like
Well,
you were talking
thank
about
you.
it earlier on the first one, like the human metronome. Like you were a fucking human metronome.
Well, thank you.
Like, and I know that you wanted to be that because you knew
You have to be.
that it had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But there were some moments live where we would kind of
Oh yeah, it's
bump
always
up
going to go
a
up and
BPM
down.
or two, you know.
Yeah.
But like when we got in the studio, you were always the one like, I know the click track fucked you up. But,
Oh, I couldn't.
but you,
That fucked anyone up.
oh, it fucked
Yeah.
everybody up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I had it happening when it came my turn to record my guitar. I was like, can we just take it out? I'll just play to Morgan. Like if
Right.
I know because like Morgan's a fucking human metronome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that dude's fucking chugs and like his
That's
That's
down.
what sucks. I
he
wish
was-
me and Morgan practice a lot. Me and you never practiced
No,
one-on-one
it's-
ever.
yeah,
It never happened.
I know. I don't know why.
And that's why I feel bad about saying that about you. I wasn't being mean.
No.
When I heard your guitar part, I was like,
I was like the
fuck? I don't-
slobby dude who just would like show up and be
No,
like,
you weren't. You
I'll
were
come
good.
up with some cool.
you were great.
things."
I wasn't used to hearing that, so
Right,
it screwed
yeah.
with my brain.
No, for sure. Yeah. you
But
haven't heard it
and
so
that's
many
how it
times
worked for
and
you.
so
But
do I.
like for me,
Yeah.
like Fern and Morgan were the people that I had been in a band with previously. Jimmy I had played with off and on for the years, but I had been in Punk Like Urson with Morgan and Fern, so that was like my backbone.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is my rhythm. These are the guys.
comfort
So-
zone.
Right. So
Yeah.
like to me it was always like these two guys playing together, they sound like one to me. So when you
We're so different.
and you were
in
so
our playing
different.
styles. We
But
really
that,
are,
but that's
so I
why
get it, yeah.
but that's why you worked to me because
It did work as
I
a
hope
whole.
so.
Well,
I hope
yeah.
so because
Look,
I listened to some of that earlier stuff and I'm like, man, I had not learned harmonies at that point.
Well, yeah, some
Like
of the
he's
earlier
licking,
stuff.
I'm licking, but like
Well, that's where the
later
problem.
stuff-
There was problems with Killdrama, and I was as guilty of this as anybody. In that sometimes we would get too showy, too overly complicated, overwrought again.
No,
and not
I
just
did
like
not learn
boil
that
it.
lesson as the rhythm guitar because I was a fucking rhythm guitar.
And that was kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah,
like,
well, and
when
that's
you
why
were
I
at your
say
best.
spitting at the brush fire because
Yeah.
that's when I was like, okay, so he's like doing the bean and I'll just do chugs.
When you were at your best
And
was when
palm
you
muting.
acted like a rhythm
Wait, do
guitar.
When I took the back seat and I didn't have to try to do the
He
same
was a lead.
shit.
backing
He was a
vocals
lead
were
player.
awesome.
I mean, yeah.
Thank you.
And
Another
your palm
reason why
muting.
I chose spitting at the brush fire. Because I did feel like I've heard like people say in like hindsight, like, damn, dude, your fucking screws were awesome.
I don't know if there's any.
Like,
I'll refill it. You want
Screaming
more?
over Travis
Oh,
in the
there you go.
background, like
You're
I was
good.
like, thank you, because it meant a lot to me. Like I loved fucking laying it all out there and just screaming until I was like practically hoarse. Like in hindsight, that's probably not the best way to do it.
Well, also in hindsight, I should have worked with you on like lyrics. I'd often just be like, "Well,
Yeah.
just here are the lyrics. Just
No.
find something from there and scream it."
Well, and I remember you asking me like, well, "What are you saying there?" And you're like, "Okay."
And like, yeah, I listen to like Shotgun Driver. You're
Yes,
screaming like,
you'll take a
"Why?"
snippet.
Yeah, you're screaming like, "Why can't I drive?"
Why
I'm like,
can't I
"Oh man,
drive?"
I really need to work with him on the lyrics."
Right, yeah. But nothing was said, so you just let it go.
Right, it's not your fault. I didn't.
Right,
Well,
yeah.
it's because you're a shotgun driver. You're like, fuck this. Like, I'm a better driver. Let me drive. Like, why am I not good enough to drive?
Yeah. I always listen back to the live.
For me, like, honestly, at that point in my life, I felt like that was me being poetic, saying, I'm always in shotgun. Why can't I be the one driving the car?
I have more appreciation for the
Right?
song already.
Like, I thought I was being all fucking poetic, but, like, why can't I drive? That's so fucking lame
Well,
and
'cause-
juvenile.
But who
For me-
cares?
well,
That's the time,
well,
man.
But I thought I was being all fucking witty and deep
And since I
shit.
and since I wrote the
Yeah.
lyrics, the
Nobody
lyrics.
cares at that point.
Yeah, the lyrics
Nobody
about like
gives a
I'm
shit.
content being the shotgun driver. I'm
Right.
content
Right.
being like
Yeah.
riding shotgun. But it's
That's the thing.
Yeah, it's funny.
I didn't get your message.
No, we
and
didn't
I
talk.
Interjected my own.
Yeah,
and I think
main
I'm
message.
clever.
We did not communicate properly
did.
as a 5-piece ever.
And we could have been though. I don't know. Like our later stuff was so fucking awesome. Like I hate to toot my own horn and like stroke my own penis.
Nice Socrates note and the world was doing
They were,
Those
something.
they were
even-
great songs, man. I listen back.
Those
to
are
them
all
like, wow,
Morgan
holy
songs,
shit.
but at that point, I think me personally, I had figured out how to take a backseat and be the backseat driver and just kind of keep things going and not try to overstep my bounds and complicate what Morgan's doing and actually compliment what Morgan's doing.
Dude, it's just like Punk Like Urson. Like when we were like every band I was in,
Absolutely.
when we were at the best songwriting that we were doing is when we broke up
When
as a
we
band.
broke up, yeah.
Well, that's kind of like when Rain is Wet.
That's the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's like a shift. It's like, oh, here's a revamp. Let's write better songs because I'm getting out of what I just did. I'm going to write better songs automatically. That's kind of what happened.
Well, I don't know if we were trying to write better songs. We were very consciously trying to write different songs.
Different songs.
Different
yeah.
songs and deliberately, again, like more basic.
Simpler and
because,
more straightforward.
Because I was playing bass and have always been a very weak bass player, but I'm a big like Mark Eibold fan from Pavement. So like I'm always like,
Oh,
you
man.
can hold it down with 3 notes.
Didn't
And-
realize that.
You don't need a lot.
Yeah. So that was
Just gotta
that was my
bring
whole
in that
approach.
tone. Yeah.
Right. And with Morgan doing so much, I was
Right.
like, you know, he could
worked
fuck
good.
it. He could fill it.
Do you remember me playing bass for like a brief moment?
Like 1 or
Like
2.
a hot minute.
Yeah.
I'm proud of everybody. Proud of Fern.
We've come a
Proud of
long
your-
way.
I'm proud of your gray hair.
Now we all got gray hair.
It goes all the
Yeah.
way, man. This is straight guy.
Should we say goodbye?
I love my
Sound
guy.
off here?
You want to sound up? You
Yeah.
want to
Okay.
do it?
Gentlemen, it's been such a pleasure talking to you and seeing you in face to face. This mini Killdrama reunion. I love you guys. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, man. It's been a pleasure, Travis. It's great that you're doing this. You're providing a service to everybody that's interested in music.
Thanks.
And I could go on and on and on and talk about it, but it's just good that everybody's acknowledging everybody's influence with music. You know, that's the whole heart of this thing is identifying a genre and a time, and let's hear about it. That's the whole point. And doing it with fellowship, friends, and what's better? You can't get any better than that.
Friends and music. That's
Friends
it.
and music. That's it.
Fern, any last words?
No, just
I'm not going to kill you. Any last words?
Right. It's over for it.
Shit.
It's over. Walk the plank.
This is finally it. No, I just had so much fun doing this again. Thank you, Travis, for having me back. It's been awesome. I'm really glad things worked out to allow me to be here in person to do it.
real.
I mean, to look at you like without a screen in between us and 1,200 miles. And Jeff, haven't seen you in way too long. So, I mean, like, this has been special and I love it.
When did you guys see each other?
2017,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
At the feast of 2017.
All right, well, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Trev.
Goodbye. Jeff Branstrom, such a sweet and sincere guy and a wonderful host. It was really great being there with him, spending that day by his pool. I mean, we got loaded, we floated around for a while, jokes were made, he grilled some burgers. It was a real solid day. And Derek, always a delight to have that man in my life in any way, shape, or form I can get him. And this time I actually got him in the flesh, which was fucking great. It wasn't over a screen, so that was really nice to be able to spend some time with them. Spend time with both of them. I hope you enjoyed spending time with us. Again, I admit, a little self-indulgent. Whatever. It was fun to do it, and I hope you got some enjoyment out of it. Of course, I'm going to sign off with Killdrama. Why not? I mean, you know what? Actually, we talked Killdrama a lot, and I played Killdrama throughout that episode. I will wrap things up with the band that Morgan and Jim and I had after that, which was Rain is Wet. Here's a song called That's When He Changed His Name to Spiral Staircase. This stuff, if you're interested, it's on Spotify and probably some other places as well. Yeah, it's on Amazon Music, I think. And yeah, I guess I couldn't indulge myself without you indulging me in listening to this podcast. So I thank you, listener, very much. And I thank Stone Temple Pilots, and I thank Alice in Chains. If you want to be on the show, you don't have to have been in a band with me. All you have to do is care about an album that came out in 93 or 94 that I haven't already covered yet, and we'll talk about it. Shoot me an email at 9394podcast@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook and Threads, and I think that is where we're going to leave it today. Thank you, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.
9394 Music Podcast with Travis Roy is a labor of love. It is not and never will be monetized. Please don't sue.